Hello, kids. Welcome back to another episode of Scratch. I'll see your Scratch still, Ijoma. So today we'll be looking at animation magic with Scratch. Okay, and we'll turn ordinary sprite into dazzling masterpiece using Scratch special effect blocks. Remember, I told you in our last class that we'll be doing everything about animation. Then in our last class, I showed you how you can make a sprite jump, shake, and other effects, right? So today we'll be making our sprite, whale, pixelate, mosaic, and fish eye, and also fade. That's the ghost effect. You can make your sprite disappear and appear. After that, we're going to create a project, right? So the lesson goal is for you to learn how to apply whale, mosaic, pixelate, fish eye, and fade effect, also known as ghost effect. Okay. What are scratch effects? They let you modify a sprite's appearance in a fun and wide way. Then, this is what we're going to create today. Can you see that? It's looking beautiful, right? We're going to create the wheel, the mosaic, the pixelate, fish eye, and fade. And we'll draw a backdrop like this. Then we're going to line them up. You know, Scratch is all about creativity. So you do this to make your project look creative. That's why I demarcated them like this and then I attached all the effects. So the first effect we'll be looking at is the whale effect. It swirls it up. That is, swirls up your sprite. So the whale effect bends the sprite in a circular motion, creating a dizzying swirl look. Can you see? You see the way this sprite looks? That's how it's going to look when you add the whale effect. Okay. So we'll go to Scratch and then we'll do it. After which we'll come back to our slide to see the next thing we'll have. But before we move to Scratch, let me show you the steps we'll be taking. Here are the steps we'll be taking when this sprite is clicked. The next step is our forever. And then the next step we'll be using is change whale effect by 5. Okay, so let's go to Scratch. Let's wait for it to open. It's loading. Let's wait for it. All right, here we are. It just opened up. So I'm going to create a new project. All right, now we have a blank space. Okay, so we'll be using our default cat for this, so I won't have to delete it. Okay, so before I start coding, let's go and draw the backdrop that I told you about. So you're going to hover. You hover here and then you choose your paint. Okay. So now I want to draw a backdrop similar to the one I showed you in my slide. So you choose your rectangle too, and then you draw a rectangle. But I want this to be white. So I'll go to my fill and then I'll change the color to white. Can you see that? So now we use our line. You see this line too? We want to use it to get the tabular form. Okay, because we're going to arrange the effects in a tabular form. We're going to duplicate this sprite and then we'll arrange them in a tabular form. So let's draw our table. You click on your line and then you draw a line. Can you see what I'm doing? That's it. So I will now choose select because I want to duplicate this line. Okay, I want to duplicate this line instead of drawing. and it's going to make the lines to be in uniform form, right? So you click on your select, and then you click on the line, then you copy and paste. You remember this is how you can duplicate in Scratch, by doing copy and paste while drawing in your paint area. Then we are going to space it out. Can you see that? Spacing it out. Okay. So we'll copy and we'll paste again. Copy and paste. That's it. So now let's arrange the line. Can you see what I'm doing? All right, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have 5 lines. I think the last one is tiny. Let's adjust so our sprite will fit in. You see that? That's it. So now let's draw a horizontal line. These are vertical lines. So let's draw a horizontal line. So I'll pick, or I can still decide to copy and paste this line, and then I'm going to bend it this way. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay, then I'll pick it and I'll place it here. You see, but it's not straight, right? So let's do something. I'll have to make it long, so it's going to fit in, and then so okay. I don't know. I think this is my table. My table is not looking that beautiful. Why join your own? You try to beautify it, okay? All right. Yeah, this is okay. This is okay. All right. So now we're going to type in all the effects. So I'll click on my text. The first effect we'll be typing in here is the whale, right? So type in, oh, I think this is, let's change the color of our outline. New color here, make it black. Okay. All right, let's text. Well, you see that. So the next effect we have here is, let's go back to our slide and see the next effect we have. So that will range it the way it is, right? All right, the mosaic. So let's go back and type it in. The mosaic. Okay. Then the next effect we have there is, we'll go and check again, is the pixelate. So let's go and add it there. Pixelate, pixelate. The next effect we have here is, let's check again, the fish eye. Right, the fish eye effect. And then the last effect we have here is the fade, which is also known as ghost. Okay, I can as well type in ghost there. Let me use the ghost. Oh, enter ghost effect. That's it. Now you can use this particular effect to make your sprite appear or disappear, or even object. It must not be a sprite. So now you click on your select and you arrange your text. All right, let's go back to our code. Okay, this is set. This is the first cat here. Now we're going to duplicate as we move on. But for now, let's code for the well. Okay, so you go to your events and get when the sprite is clicked. Drag and drop it in your script area. Then you go to your control and get me your forever loop. Get your forever loop. And you go to your loops and get change color effect. Change color effect. Then you see this arrow down. You remember I told you in our previous class that whenever you see an arrow down in your block, you should know that that block is made up of other options. So you click on it and see other option that is made up of. Can you see the drop down? We have color, fish eye, wheel, pixelate, mosaic, brightness, and then ghost. Most of the effects we'll be looking at, right? So we're going to change it to wheel because that's what we want. So now I'm done coding for this wheel. I'm going to click on the sprite to see if it's going to display the wheel effect. So let's click. Ooh, can you see? The sprite is wheeling. Ooh, this is beautiful, right? Then when I click on stop, it go back to normal. And when I click on the sprite, it wheels, right? So that's it for wheel. You can use this while animating. So let's go back to our slide. All right, so the next effect we'll be looking at is the mosaic, right? So let's explore. Let's move on and see. So the mosaic effect, multiple twins, you see, is known as the multiple twins effect. Just like the other one, the well effect is known as the swell up effect because of the way it makes the sprite looks once you apply that effect, right? So the mosaic effect splits your sprite into tiny tiles, making it look like a puzzle. Just as you can see here. Can you see this image I'm hovering my mouse on? That's the cat when you apply the mosaic effect to it. So now we'll go to Scratch. Let's go and apply the mosaic effect. But before then, here is the step we'll be taking. The step we'll be taking is similar to the one we just took for the well. But the only difference thing there is that we'll be changing it with the arrow down. We'll be changing the effects with the arrow down. Okay. So after coding, we're going to click on it and then display as well. So now let's go back to Scratch. All right. So I'm going to click on file. No, I won't click on file because if I click on file, it's going to delete this project, right? I want everything to be together here so you won't have to lose any of them. So what I'm going to do now is I'll hover, you see, come down to your sprite area, right click. When you right click, you get the duplicate option. Okay, then you go on and duplicate. All right, here's the duplicated sprite, so I'll drag it. You see it's taking the other, it's taking this sprite effect. Can you see? I clicked on it because I wanted to move it to this place, but then it started displaying the effect of the duplicated sprite. So now I'm going to click on this sprite and I'm going to delete this block. Okay, because we're going to code for this one. So let's delete and click on this. Then now I can drag this card to this place because it doesn't have any effect again. Let me just place it here. All right, now let's code for mosaic. So go to your events, get when the sprite is clicked, go to controls, get your forever loop, go to loops and get your change effects, change effect block. Then you click on this arrow down and then you change it to mosaic. All right, so now I'm going to click on the sprite to display. Let's see, click on it. You see that, you see what's happening. This is what the mosaic effect does. Can you see? If I click on it again, it's still going to display. You see that? All right, so let me click on stop, and that is it for the mosaic. So go back to our slide. Let's see the next thing we have here. This looks like magic, right? Yeah, you can perform magic with Scratch in a fun way, you know. So the next thing we'll have is our pixelate, right? We are done with the mosaic, so we're moving on to the pixelate. So pixelate effect is known as the retro gaming mode. You know your retro gaming mode. It looks like this, right? So pixelate means turning a picture into small square blocks like tiny puzzle pieces, just as you can see. Right, when you apply this effect to your project, is going to display like this, forming tiny pieces. So let's not waste much time. We'll go and do it together in Scratch. Okay, so here is the one we just finished working on. So I'm going to click on this sprite and we'll do the same thing we did with the other one. Okay, we'll click on it and then you duplicate that set. You see, but now this one have that effect, so I don't want to click on it. I'm going to delete these blocks before I click on it. Right, so I'll right click here and I'll delete this block. No, I duplicated instead, so I'll have to delete block, delete block. Oh, I duplicated again. Delete block and delete block. All right, now I'm going to position the cards well. Let me position it here. Okay, so now we're going to code for the pixelate, right? But there's a mistake. It's not supposed to be pixelate. There's E here. So I'm going to click on my backdrop. Let me go and edit it. Okay, I want to add the E here. So I'm going to click on my text. Click right here and add my E. All right, pixelate. That is it. It's updated. So let's go back and continue. So now it's time to code for our pixelate. Then you go to your events, get when this. Oh, I'm still coding for the stage, so I have to click on the sprite I'm coding for. So when the sprite is clicked, forever change color effect block, you hover, click on this drop down and choose pixelate. Now we're going to click on the sprite to see. You see what's happening? You see what happened there? After pixelating, it's faded away. So you can use it if you want to create an animation or story where a sprite or an object teleports. It's either you use the fade or you use this. So it's going to pixelate and then it will disappear. You see? You see that? That's it for pixelate. So let's go back to our slide. Move on and see the next thing we have. So after the pixelate, the next effect we'll be looking at is the fish eye. You see that? So the fish eye effect is known as the big and round because that's how the effect looks like. Okay, when you apply this effect to your sprite, it will give you this look. Okay, can you see the mouth of our cat? It expanded it. It made it big and round. So that's how it makes your object look when you apply this effect. This effect bulges the sprite outwards, making it look funny. You see, the sprite is looking funny. So now we'll go to, let's go to sprites, to our scratch. Go to scratch and do it together. Okay, so now we're going to duplicate again. Duplicate, you see, and then delete this block. We're going to delete this block. All right, now you take this card and you position it here. Let's position it here. Oh, I just clicked on. Okay. All right, let me click on the sprite and then we'll code for fisher. Go to your events, get when the sprite is clicked. We are using the same block as we did with others, so it's not that difficult. Okay, all you have to do is to change the color effect. You change it to the effect that you are coding for. Okay, you are coding for fisheye, so let's choose it and then we'll click on the sprite labeled fisheye. You see what's happening? You see, I'll click on stop and I'll click on it again. You see, it stretched the mouth of the cat. It made the cat look like this, give it the round look, and it's now looking funny. The mouth is now so big. So I'll click on stop and then we'll go back to our slide and we'll look at the next effect we have there. So the next effect we have here is going to be the ghost effect, of course, also known as the fade effect. Okay, so all right, the fade effect slowly makes your sprite disappear by lowering its brightness. Okay, so by the time we apply the fade effect, your sprite is going to vanish into thin air. Okay, so now let's go and do this together. Here is our, all right, click on this, right click and duplicate. Okay, here is our duplicated sprite. So go on and delete this block, and now we place our fade sprite right here. Let's code. So you go to your events and get when the sprite is clicked, place it here. Control, get your forever loop, place it here, and then go to your looks and get change color effect block. place it here, and you change this to ghosts. Okay, so now I'll click on this sprite labeled ghosts. Let's see what will happen. You see, immediately I clicked on it, it vanished. If I also code with the when green flag is clicked block, once I click on the green flag, it's still going to vanish. Okay, so you can use either of the blocks to play your project. All right, let me click on stop. It's back. Then when I click on the sprite, it disappears. So you can use this to make your sprite disappear or teleport. Okay, so now we'll be creating a mini project with all these effects. We'll be using at least 2 or 3 effects to combine it in our project. Okay, so let's see. We are going to create a mini project, as you can see on my screen. Let's go back. All right, the name of our mini project is the magic mirror. Okay, the sprite will glide to the magic mirror and disappear into thin air using the fish eye, pixelate, and ghost effects. Okay, we're going to apply these 3 effects to make it disappear. Okay, so for this project, we'll be making use of the cat, our default cat. We'll be needing the 2 cats. We're going to duplicate for the reflection. We're going to have the reflected cards which will be showing on the mirror, and then we'll have the other card. Then the next step we'll be taking, of course, is we're going to draw a backdrop. Well, the backdrop is going to be in form of a sprite, so we're going to draw it with our sprite paint instead of the backdrop paint. Okay, as you can you see this image? That's how our backdrop is going to look like. Then after drawing, we'll go to our backdrop library, and then we're going to choose bedroom 3. Okay, so after that, then we'll come back and code for the first sprite. After coding for the first sprite, to code for the second sprite, and then for the third sprite, which is the backdrop that we're going to paint. Okay, so now let's go to Scratch. So we're done with this project. You can go on and save it. All right, you can either save it from here. You save it from here to save to your computer. But if you have a Scratch account, because me, I'm teaching you with my Scratch account, so I'll come right here and I'll save it, my Scratch, my stuff. Can you see? It just saved. It just saved. So I'll go to create to open up a new project. Let's wait for it to open. It's coming up. All right, so now we'll be using this card, so we don't have to choose any other cards. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this card because we'll be needing 2 cards. Duplicate. All right, now I have 2 cards here, so I need to get the third sprite, which will be our backdrop. Okay, so let's click on it. Click on paint. We're choosing paint, then we'll draw. Choose your rectangle to, and then draw. We want to draw the interior of a building, indoor look, right? So I'll change the color of the wall. This is our wall, so I'll have to change the color. But before doing that, I'll click on select, and I'm going to duplicate this. Duplicate. Okay, I just duplicated this. So now drag it down to get the flow. Let me take it to I think this is okay. This is okay. So now let's change the color. Go to your fill and then change the color to yeah pink. Then you select the backdrop, which is the wall. You want the wall to have a sky, something like this. Right. Yeah, sneaky, perfect. So now let's get our window to a rectangle. Change the color. Get the yellow. Alright, draw your window. Should be something like this. Okay, minimize. Don't let me. Let us continue. Abeg. Super. Yes, no, you still going back. Yeah. Alright, let's go. Rotate. Action. Okay. So now, we just draw our window. So we're going to use the line to make the window look like a window because this is just a rectangle. Okay, so click on the line and then draw a straight line here. The line is not in the middle, right? But we're going to rearrange that later. So let's draw the horizontal line. I think this is okay. Okay, now I'm going to select, click on your select, and then let me place this. All right, it's now in the middle. That's it. It's now looking like a window, right? So we want to get our mirror. We want to draw our mirror. So to draw our mirror, I want to do something. I want to get our backdrop first. So when we draw the mirror, it will look like a mirror. So let's go back to code and choose indoor. Okay, here is the bedroom we use. You can choose this one for your project, this one, but for me I'm using this one. All right, now let's go back and continue. Okay, so to draw our window, our mirror, sorry, you click on the rectangle. You want the mirror to have color yellow. Then we want the liner to be bold, so you click here where I'm clicking on, and let's make the liner 15 and see what it will look like. So now we'll draw. Let's change the color of the outline. Color of the outline should be, we want a yellow color, right? This is okay. So let's draw a mirror. Make the mirror long. Okay, this is okay, though there's no outline. But that's fine. I want this to have an outline, right? So I'm still going to draw again and draw another. And this time I want the color to be black. All right, see the outline. Can you see that? So you pick the select and then let's move this here. this is our mirror, but it's not looking like a mirror yet. Okay, so we're going to click on convert to bitmap. Can you see convert to bitmap? Where my mouse is hovering, you click on it, and then we want to do something here. So we're going to remove this black color. Okay, that's why I painted it black, so we can crop it out. Okay, to do that, you're going to click on this select right here where my mouse is hovering. Click on select, and then you place it here. Place it at the edge. Make sure you get it. Place it here, and then we're going to drag this. This is the area I want to delete. Okay, I want to delete this area, so I'm going to click on delete, and then it's gone. You see, it's gone. So let's try and see if you can remove the remaining black lines. Let's try. Let's try and see. Okay. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay. Then I'll delete. You see that? I think it's still remaining. You can as well leave it this way. So now convert it back to vector, but it's not covering the entire space. So now we'll select and we expand. Expand till it covers up the whole page. Now it's looking okay. So once you convert to bitmap, you won't be able to edit anything from the inside. Can you see? You cannot edit anything from the inside again. So let's go back and continue. We go to our code. Okay, so now I want this to move back, and I want my sprite to comfort, right? So to do that, you go to your looks and look for go to back layer. Get this, go backwards. Say go backwards, change this to backwards, go backward, 2 layer, and I'll click on it. You see, it went back. I can as well just click on green flag so that it will be there as our code. When green flag is clicked, go backwards 2 layer. I may not be needing this block for now, so let me just drop this right here and drop this block here in case I need it later. So now the cat is here and this one is here. Okay, this will be the cat walking here, and this will be the one in the reflection. So I want this to remain here. So now it's time to code. When green flag is clicked, Let's click on the first one. Let's code for the first one. So for the first one, when green flag is clicked, go to this particular position. But I want something to happen. I want this and this to be. I want this to be here, because this one will be the reflection. Okay, I want this reflection, this reflected sprite to be. So let me change the name. The sprite 2 should be reflection, and then the sprite 1 should just be sprite 1. Okay, now let's click on the sprite 1 and continue. When green flag is clicked, go to this particular position where I placed you. And we want it to glide from here to here. We want it to glide from here to here when green flag is clicked. So glide. And let's place it back and make it glide before we choose the block. So glide from here to here. So let's get the block. When green flag is clicked, glide 1 second from here to here. So let's click on green flag and see. You see, it just did. Oh, I want it to glide for 2 seconds. It's gliding so fast. It's now gliding slowly. That's beautiful. Glide from here to here. Okay, and then wait. Go to your controls and get the wait block, and then wait for 1 second and say something. I want you to say something when you get to that place. Say, go to your looks and get your say block. Say hello for 2 seconds block. Then we are going to edit this. Edit it and add watch closely. I'm about to disappear into thin air. Okay, I type it in. Watch closely. I'm about to disappear. About to disappear into thin air. You see that, and you're going to add an exclamation mark. Watch closely. I'm about to disappear into thin air. It's going to say it for 2 seconds, right? So you click on it. Let's click and see. Watch closely. I'm about to disappear into thin air. And we're going to make it disappear after it makes this statement, right? So we want it to make a sound before it disappears. So you go to your sounds and get play sound. Place it here. It's going to make this sound before it disappears. So let's see. Glide from here to here. Say watch closely. I'm about to disappear. It will make a sound and it will disappear. So now we have to add that too. So we'll go to our controls and get our forever loop. Get your forever loop, drag it and place it here. Okay, so now we're going to the looks to get our effect block. Change color effects by. So for this first one, we're going to change it to fish eye. Remember I said we'll be combining fish eye, pixelate and ghost. We're going to use change fish eye effect by 25. So when I click, so glide from here to here. See, watch closely, I'm about to disappear to do mirror, and then it's displaying this. Okay, so we're going to add more effects to it. Go to your change costume, go to your change color effect, sorry, then you're going to change it to pixelate. Let's see if it's going to work. Light from here to here. I'm about to disappear into thin air. You see that, and it disappeared, right? So we might as well add this. You may choose not to add this last block, but I want to add it, the ghost. And the cat disappeared. Okay, now it's time to go for the cat's reflection, right? To make this cat appear from the mirror. Okay, it's not supposed to be here. We're going to code for it to go backwards and only appear right here, so it will look like this is the reflection of the cat you're seeing here from the mirror. Okay, so let's code for it. Click on reflection, and then you need to get this particular block to make it go backwards first, or let's leave it and code first. Events, when green flag is clicked, go to this position where I placed it. That's where I want it to start from. That's the cat we are coding for. Glide, we want it to glide from here to this place where this cat is. Okay, so glide from here straight up to here. You see, to get this glide, drag it and place it here. You see, so it's going to glide from here to here. This one is gliding fast. Let's reduce it to 2 seconds like we did with the other one. Alright, so now I'm going to add I want it to go backwards, so go to your looks and get me go backwards one layer to take it back so it can only appear from the mirror. Go backward one layer. Now let's click and see. So you click on it to send this backwards. You see, I've gone backwards. It still came out again. So we're going to place this here. When green flag is clicked, go one layer backwards. It's happening because we placed this block down here instead of up here. So let's see. You see. Alright, now it's working. Okay, we place this block here, not here. So we made that mistake. Now we'll get our weight block. Get your weight block, drag and drop here. We want it to wait for us. It's going to wait for 3.8 seconds. That's when the first cat will be talking. Okay, so it will wait for it to talk and then they will both vanish. All right, so now the next block we'll be using is our forever. So go to your controls and get your forever, drop it here. and you go to looks. Change color effect. The first effect we used is the fisheye, right? Then to get another change color effect, place it here and then you change it to pixelate. You get another block similar and then you change it to ghost. Let's see if it's going to work uniformly. You see, they both disappeared, but the other one disappeared faster, right? Listen. Oh, they disappeared once. Alright, so that's it for this particular project. This is how you can make your sprite vanish. So this is like a magic mirror that made the cat disappear. You can also use another sprite for this, but me, I choose the cat. So let's see what we'll have. So here are the steps we took, right? And that's just it for today's class. Okay, I'll see you in our next class. Bye for now.